In this lesson, I'm going to show you the best strategies about how to understand what you really want and how to define your goals. This is a fundamental step because without clear goals, we would not be able to take the right direction to achieve them. Therefore, before the end of this lesson, you will be able to determine what you really want to achieve in life. Having a purpose allows us to understand what matters to us and what does not. Understanding what is not relevant to our life prevents us from wasting energy on activities that do not make us feel fulfilled. We can therefore use that precious time to focus on our goals. If you already have clear goals and you know exactly the way you want to take, that's great. If you haven't found the answer yet, don't worry. It's totally fine, and that's also a very common situation for many people. What we know is that we want to be happy. And being happy means doing what we enjoy. There are people all over the world who can't stand their job. And honestly, life is too short for you to spend 8 to 10 hours a day struggling with an annoying colleague, boring tasks, or doing something you don't care about. But that's not only about your job. Looking for your happiness concerns every type of activity. Doing exercises, studying, hanging out with friends, etc. That's why you need to be surrounded by an environment that makes you happy and comfortable. That's why you deserve to do what you really like to do, something that brings you joy, situations that inspire you, that make you want to put more energy, more enthusiasm. Let me tell you one thing. To get the right motivation, you need to set goals that are in line with your priorities. In turn, your priorities should only be related to the things that make you happy. Think about it. Do you really like your job? Or have you been influenced to choose it by society? Have you ever given up on a work experience abroad because someone else asked you to stay in your country? Are you in a relationship because you love that person or because you think you can't be alone? So let's find out what you really want to bring into your life. I have already prepared a document that you can download. In this document, there are going to be 8 questions. We are also going to see these questions together, one by one, and in the meanwhile, you can stop the video and fill the file with your personal answers. Then, at the end, save the file in your computer, read it again, and you will have a better overview about what you want and what you need to bring into your life in order to reach a higher level of happiness. So, I hope you have already the file opened in front of you. Let's begin with the first question. What are the 5 most important things for you? I know that is a very open question, but think about something you cannot live without, something that is essential to your life and that represents a source of joy for you. It can be having a family, financial freedom, being healthy, but also more specific activities like playing baseball or cooking all the time because this makes you feel happy, etc. What are your top talents? What are you good at naturally? There are passions, interests, or topics that have been part of our life since we were children. Do you remember what you loved to do when you were a child? Ask yourself what your greatest talents are. You definitely stand out from the rest for a few reasons. But the question now is, did you give the right importance to your talents? Who is the person you most admire? There is always a source of inspiration. think about your source of inspiration. It can be one person or a group of people. Now, ask yourself, why do I like this person so much? Why is he or she such an inspiration for me? Identify those qualities and values that you typically appreciate in people. You will then understand what you admire and what you really want to achieve in your life. What job would you be willing to do, even for free? Exactly. What can you do all day long without being financially rewarded? You may also say, yeah, I can watch TV series all day long. Why not? Well, yes, of course. But ask yourself if that activity has the power to bring real joy to your life and to evolve who you really are. Personally, I would think about writing stories for children, painting, playing a certain sport, or even studying a specific subject. Actually, it can be anything. So what activities give you energy? It could be your job, a hobby, or something you do as a volunteer. How do you imagine your life in 5 years? Sometimes we are so caught up in our daily routines that we don't think about the future we want. Take 10 minutes of your time and write down in details how you would like your life to be in the next 5 years. What goals have you achieved? Where do you live? Who are the people around you? Also, describe your daily routine. Describe your ideal day. Think about the perfect day you want to live. It could be a casual day, but I suggest you to think about your perfect daily routine. What time do you wake up in the morning? And what do you do first? Are you planning to start with a yoga session? What do you eat for breakfast? And how do you spend your morning? Who do you have lunch with? In the afternoon, you could devote yourself to your hobbies, take a walk next to the sea, or even read, study, work on a goal. Also, think about how you would spend the perfect evening, perhaps with the people you love, or relaxing, watching the sunset. There are no limits in describing your ideal day. When was the last time you felt alive? What were you doing the last time you experienced real happiness? And also, what are the necessary conditions for which you could feel so happy again? What would you do if you weren't afraid? Fear is an irrational break that does not allow us to fully live our life. Think about what's holding you back. What are your fears? What would you be doing if you weren't stuck in fear? And also, what would you do if you knew you could not fail? If you had just a year of life left, how would you spend it? Would you spend it playing video games? Looking at puppies' videos on YouTube, checking how your favorite football player is living his life? Becoming aware of the fact that we have limited time on this earth can help us understand what we really want to do with our life. Okay, great! And now, read your answers again and check to see what they have in common. Try to check if they have similar concepts. Find what it is, and you will discover an important element that is probably leading you towards your destiny. Tonight, before going to bed, read your answers again and spend some minutes thinking about the current situation. Are your daily actions and habits in line with your goal?